Today we're tackling something huge, something we all think we know, love. But what if we could take that abstract feeling, break it down into its core parts, and actually turn it into visual art? I know it sounds kind of impossible, but it's really all about finding the right language. So how do we do it? Let's find out.
I mean, really think about it. We use the exact same four-letter word to talk about how we feel about a perfect slice of pizza, our parents, our partners, our oldest friends. But are those feelings actually the same? Of course not. Our source material really digs into this and asks a fascinating question. How many different types of love are we really dealing with here?
And the answer? Well, according to the research, it's a staggering 21. Yeah, that's right. Not 2, not 3, 21 different flavors of human connection. Each one has its own texture, its own rules, and its own unique emotional signature. We're talking about a whole spectrum of feelings.
Okay, before we dive into all 21, we have to start with the most fundamental split of all, the difference between conditional and unconditional love. Conditional is transactional, you know? It's the I'll love you if. It's based on performance. Unconditional, on the other hand, is just given freely. It's that simple, powerful idea, I love you because you are.
And this isn't just some philosophical concept. It's a distinction we all navigate in our relationships every single day. Understanding this core difference between love that's earned and love that's just given, well, that's the key that unlocks our understanding of all the other, more nuanced connections.
So, with that foundation set, let's take a quick tour of a few of these distinct types of love. This is going to give us the raw material we need to get creative. First up, we've got Pragma. You know, think of your grandparents who have been together for 50 years. That's Pragma. It's not about that fleeting passion. It's about choosing to build a life together, grounded in commitment, patience, and just deep mutual respect.
Yeah, this is the love you see in those really long-term partnerships, where two people have made a conscious choice to compromise, to adapt, and to grow together. It's stable, it's secure, and it is absolutely built to last.
All right, now for a complete 180, let's talk about ludus. If Pragma is all about stability, ludus is all about the thrill of the chase. This is that playful, flirtatious side of affection. It's about fun, laughter, and excitement, often without needing that deep, long-term commitment.
What's so cool is that these concepts show how the ancient Greeks were trying to categorize these very different human experiences. Having a word like ludus helps us identify and appreciate those moments of pure, spontaneous joy in our connections, which are so different from the deeper bonds of family or partnership.
Okay, so we have these incredibly rich definitions, but here's the real challenge, right? How do we translate an abstract feeling into a concrete image? How do we make the invisible visible? And doing this, it isn't just a fun little exercise. It actually forces us to get really specific about what these feelings are made of.
I mean, let's really think about that for a second. What does selfless compassion actually look like in a single frame? What colors? What kind of light? What setting would you use to capture that quiet, enduring strength of practical love? These are the questions that lead to really powerful art.
And here's the crucial part. The answer is already right in front of us. The definitions aren't just words, they are packed with visual clues. Phrases like ethereal right, or tender embrace, or shared goals. Those are the very key words we can use to build a detailed visual scene for an AI art generator.
And with that, welcome to the Prompt Crafting Workshop. We're now going to take a few of these concepts and, step by step, build them into emotionally powerful prompts that can generate some truly stunning art. Let's get our hands dirty.
We're going to start with a big one, agape. This is described as the highest form of love. It's selfless, it's universal, and it's all about prioritizing others, even strangers, at a personal cost. It's a huge, almost overwhelming idea.
So let's break this down. What are the visual ingredients here? Selfless compassion, that suggests an action. Stranger in a bustling city gives us a setting. Soft ethereal light sets a spiritual kind of mood. See, each of these phrases is a powerful piece of the puzzle for our final prompt.
And now, we weave those keywords into a narrative. Notice how specific this is. Cinematic wide shot, rain-slick city. We're not just asking for a picture of love, we're directing an entire scene, telling the AI exactly what emotion and atmosphere to capture to really convey that boundless, universal connection.
Okay, let's try another one. Something maybe a little more intimate. Parental love, also known as storage. The sources describe this as a totally instinctive bond. It's all about protection,
sacrifice, and this deep sense of acceptance without ever keeping a scorecard. So our visual language here is completely different from agape, right? We have tender embrace, that's a specific physical action. An everyday life setting grounds the image in reality. The feeling we really want to evoke is one of profound belonging and security.
And here's the prompt that comes out of that. It focuses on warmth and intimacy. We'd specify things like soft natural lighting and realistic textures to create something that feels gentle and real, capturing that quiet power of being loved for exactly who you are, not for what you achieve.
Now, for a more complex idea, where we're going to combine two concepts into one single image, the first part is Philautia, or self-love, and the sources are really clear on this. This is the necessary foundation for all the other types of love. It's about confidence and self-worth.
The second concept is long-distance love. This is all about bridging physical separation through emotional effort and a deep sense of trust. So you've got an internal foundation on one hand and an external connection on the other. How in the world do you show that relationship visually?
Well, we can use a split-screen composition. On one side, self-love is visualized as serenity and confidence, and on the other, long-distance love becomes these glowing threads of communication. This single prompt creates a powerful visual story about how our relationship with ourselves enables our connection with others, no matter the distance.
So what does this whole process give us? I mean, it's more than just a method for creating beautiful images. It gives us a new language and a sharper lens to understand our own feelings. By learning how to articulate what selfless love looks like, or what practical love is built on, we learn to recognize it more clearly in our own lives. It's a tool for introspection just as much as it is for creation.
So the takeaway is really a challenge for you. Now that you have the tools to deconstruct and visualize this entire spectrum of human connection, from the selfless to the playful to the practical, which face of love are you most curious to see? Which one are you going to explore first?